How do you want to start the show?
Fenn's Law.
Like that, I guess. Fenn's Law.
Hello, Jimbo.
Just in a mood for Wild Blue Yonder.
I watched 20 minutes of 73 Yards yesterday.
Right? The best 20 minutes? Trick question. They're all great.
I'd probably say I'd probably say the first act's my favorite. But do you know what I really noticed? So nerdy.
What did you notice?
So nerdy, but I'm like, Murray's score on this is so good.
This is best of the season, I reckon.
So good. I just love that episode.
Yeah. I
felt bad starting it because I didn't finish it, and I hate when I do that, but maybe I'll finish it tonight. You never know. I
finished 73 Yards Tuesday. The Target novel. The novelization of it, which is great. I will put my hand in the air and say, this is the best Target novel I've ever read.
Wow.
It's great.
Nice.
It's amazing. It expands.
Who wrote it?
Scott Hancock.
Thank you, Scott.
What a guy. Because he's the script editor on season 1, I think. And yeah, no, it was great. Just a great little, like, so much cool expansion things in there. It's like really fun at times, but also gets like the gravity of certain moments right. It's good.
Does a script editor look for like punctuation and spelling errors?
I mean, someone will correct me here, but
inconsistencies in the script, maybe. It's
a lot of consistencies across all scripts.
Yeah.
Like, so making sure they all sort of read the same and things like that. But I don't know the ins and outs. I know what it used to be, but I don't know what it's like in modern day stuff.
It's like, Russell, I just read Church on Ruby Road and I'm just reading Empire of Death and
doesn't make sense.
Am I missing something here? Because it doesn't add up. No, that's great. Is there anything like, you don't have to say because I'm sure people are going to read it, but because Target novels are funny. Sometimes they don't come out on bookstores for a while and it's like online only, but was there anything extra?
Well, it's just in Australia that they can be a bit fucky.
Oh, okay.
They come out.
No one lives in Australia. So.
Not me, apparently. Anything juicy about it? Yeah, there's some cool. They talk a lot about Unit and some stuff before.
A bit more of a Roger Williams backstory.
I mean, there's like a little paragraph and stuff, but not too deep into that.
He loves bombs. Nuclear warheads.
Got to cut that out, right? But yeah, I don't know. Just everyone should just go read it. It's just lovely. There's just heaps of little nuggets, like little paragraphs here and there that you're like, oh, that's like a cool bit of information. But what I do when I read is I finish it, I close the book, and I go, I can't remember anything I just read.
Nice.
It's like Sherlock when he deletes stuff from his brain. I'm like, finish that.
Mind Palace wiped. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The cover's really beautiful as well.
It is. And this is the nerdy thing that I was saying to my girlfriend the other night. I said, you watched this episode, right? And she was like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, you know how it's like about a woman that like people can't see, but Ruby can? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I've looked at this cover so many times. I've been reading it for like a few weeks. And now look what I've only just noticed.
The woman in the background.
The woman's in the cover. Never noticed it until my last day. I feel like I conquered the book with that.
Fantastic. No extra hints as to what the episode meant.
Not really, no.
That's fine.
But I've got my theories, but that's a story for another time.
Every time I watch that episode, I'm like, oh, I love you so much and I don't want to know. Please, Russell, don't say ever what it is. Just...
Oh, he never will.
Don't listen to the fans.
He'll never say.
Oh, don't listen to the TikTok comments. I didn't get it. Good. Didn't want you to.
Why didn't you explain it? This is lazy writing. Honestly. With 50 Doctor Who for all podcasts, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, @50Doctor, on TikTok, @50Doctor Who. Subscribe.
After just insulting TikTok.
Yeah.
Follow us there.
You bastards.
Post on TikTok? We haven't posted on TikTok.
From time to time we do. I make some custom things on there.
50% podcast.
I'm not really selling it, am I?
No, but no.
It's funny. This time last year, it was like, I guess it was the 60th year. It was like
true.
Every episode, clips ahoy. I was doing clips. You were doing shorts.
Yeah. Well, now it's just the lull.
Yeah.
So we'll fire back up.
I think yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's our job, I suppose.
We earn so much money from this.
I guess.
Folks, on today's show, we're going to go through your favorite Dalek stories, and we're going to upgrade or we're going to delete them, which is because it's your best and your worst.
Right, we didn't need to prepare anything, do we?
No, we gave this one to the listeners. I didn't want to stress you out too much.
For a second there, I thought I had to do something.
No. Then we're going to continue on with the regular segment, AI Aidan. And then we're going to move on to the Chase review. But before that, Connor, just let me just dust off the bottom. The bottom, my bottom.
Wow.
The button. It's time for the news.
And I was having such a nice day.
I think the neighbours heard that.
They probably did, especially because the door's open.
It's a hot day in Perth.
It's very warm.
Sunny Perth.
I feel like someone just like came and
Australia.
punched us in the face. Don't you reckon?
I'm excited.
Same.
Yeah, you just feel better when it's warmer. That seasonal depression can hit me sometimes. I'm like, oh, this is so grey and miserable.
Maybe that's why Doctor Who fans are so angry all the time.
Nothing will solve that.
Okay, two love a little bit of news. Number one, we're going to get some season 2 stuff in a second. But number one, we got 2 new character dollies from Character Options. Amazing. We got Shitty Guy with Millie Gibson in toy form.
Ruby's phone is an accessory. This is so fucking insane.
I love it. Well, you got the landmine for the dock and the Sonic looks good as that Sonic can, and the psychic paper.
I guess this is the day and age we're in where it's like, what should we give Ruby?
A phone.
A phone. I guess, but what else could you have picked though, I suppose?
Yeah, I don't really know like what other big prop.
Because they all come with accessories, don't they?
Yeah, usually. The shit figures don't. It's
Or
a
if
shit set if it doesn't.
Or if she had like a book.
A book.
Because you know she smacks the bird with a book.
Maybe it's like a completely different costume, which I know is the same thing for the landline combo, but
yeah, true. Yeah.
Maybe the videotapes of like a
That could have been cool.
that could be a cute little touch.
But you know, people on TikTok don't know what videotape is.
True. Yeah, it'd say Ruby Sunday with phone and ancient artifact.
Yeah. And they're like, what is this thing?
It's just ancient
What is
artifact.
what is a VHS?
You could give her the shopping bags busted open.
Yeah, like a little.
That could be cute.
That could be fun.
With a little green hand going up and ripping it open.
Yeah.
Cheeky hand.
Okay.
Cheeky.
Get us in there. You know, it's just funny to see a phone.
You know, they should have given
That's
a shooty.
okay.
They should have given him the gloves. You could take his hands up and put your favorite gloves on there.
They came in such handy. They were so handy in the final.
Why the fuck did they come back in the finale? That was just odd.
I
Wasn't
think
that just
it's
odd?
Just a bit of coincidence, you know? A little bit of
I see what you
coincidence.
did there. Connor, how the fuck?
I didn't even mean to do that.
How do you get to save tweet? Oh, here we go. Bookmark tweets. Because New Doctor Who magazine has come out, and oh boy, we've got some news for season 2. Now, I'm not gonna.
I didn't know any of this.
I'm not
Fire it
gonna
on me.
throw it all out there into the world because if you're in the UK, you should be buying this magazine. So
I'll buy it 3 months later when it hits the shelves.
We'll just throw a couple of fun facts out there for you. George of the World is completely done.
Who?
George of the World, completely done. Nothing left
You'd
to
hope
do.
so.
Well, they've got a few months left there.
No.
Season 2, episode 1, almost done. Almost done. I'm really trying to skip through. I don't want to say absolutely everything. I should have prepared this beforehand.
Release date?
Episode 3, Russell says, "Brr, I'm just saying, scary."
Okay.
As we always get one of those episodes every season, don't
Wow.
we? You won't believe how scary this one is.
Scary.
So scary.
Watch out.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
Oh no, his episode 4 is an interesting one. It's got a comment here that says a brand new slant on a Doctor Who story. It's like a new angle on a pre-existing story, maybe, which is cool.
The Daleks.
Regenesis of the Daleks.
Why not?
Why not?
Folks.
Why not? Season 2, episode 5 is not written by RTD.
Yeah. And on cheers.
Episode 6 is an epic. We might
epic?
finish it in 2029 because there's that many VFX involved.
I think I know what he's talking about. And I'm not going to say anything.
Interesting. Episodes 7 and 8, 2-part finale.
Woohoo.
It's got a long way to go.
You'd be really proud of me. Are you done?
A couple more little things.
Okay, go ahead.
Secret project. Russell says, "Oh, you'll see." Don't know what that's about, but there's
A new spin-off?
probably not new spin-off, but I
Woohoo.
think maybe it's likely the second colorization. Because I
Oh,
saw
God.
Ben Cook having a little chat about that on Twitter. I don't mind them; they're fun.
Boo.
Future scripts, 3 of them written by 3 different people.
Wait, is this like
season
series
3?
3?
Season 3,
Okay,
yeah.
so
It
must
says
be sounding good.
he's got a few more weeks ahead of him working on them, and then they'll sort of park them until they have the season 3 commission.
Double park that.
That's correct. War Between Land and the Sea. It will wrap just before Christmas.
Okay.
Episodes 1, 4, and 5 written by RTD, and Peak McTie 2, 3, and 4. So episode 4 is co-written by McTie and RTD.
Ooh.
With RTD starting it and finishing it, and McTie filling in the gaps in the middle.
Very excited for that.
Someone's first appearance is in the final scene. Interesting. What does that mean?
Martha Jones.
Could you imagine?
Hello, I'm Martha Jones.
Anyway, so that's the whole goss. Cool to have a bit of goss.
So you'll be really proud of me.
I'm always proud of you.
Oh, stop it. I have in the past, like, had a sticky beak into leaks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just felt like it has ruined my perception of new series. And a lot of the time when I read leaks, I'm like, oh, they can't be true. Like, no way. Like, my famous story of reading the entire 60th anniversary.
like it was a bedtime story.
Yeah, and laughing, being like, a coffee spill on the TARDIS? How ridiculous. Who wrote this fanfic? And then it happened. So I did see a couple of weeks ago some big, like, it was like a big page of just stuff.
Oh, really?
And
I don't see anything.
I didn't read it.
Mate, I know bugger all about season 2.
Well, you have it blocked, don't you?
I do,
You have blocked stuff.
I
So.
do.
Yeah, and I didn't look at any of it. And I see like other YouTubers making like videos and stuff about it, and that's completely cool. Like you can go and do that. I'm not the warden of YouTube.
Oh, I saw Thary's did one recently. That came up
like
and
that kind of thing. But like
I said, Thary, I love your stuff, but I'll swipe away on that one.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, because I feel like it can kind of maybe tamper my thoughts a little bit. And I do want to rewatch Series 1. I do want to make this video of me talking about it.
Get progressively drunk. Watch it in a day and get progressively drunk throughout the day.
Well, I have a bit of time off. Not next week, but the week after. So I might do it.
Do a 9 episode drinking game and make a video out of it.
I don't think... Well, that's not what I'm going for.
That'd be wild, though.
It would be wild beyonder, But I do want to rewatch this series and give it a chance. Because now the dust is kind of settled, I really want to like it more. And I feel like I'm in a place now where I can maybe give it a bit more of a shot. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to like be critical. Yeah. But I do want to... I think I'm very harsh on that series. And maybe I'm allowed to be, but... I look back on like a series like Series 4, there's tons of episodes in there I really don't like, but I do look at it as a good series. But it's like, why do I look at Series 1 where there's a lot of... there's 2 episodes in there that I would probably be in my top 10.
That's huge.
But I still go, oh, that series sucked. So I do want to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I haven't rewatched Empire of Death since we watched it together.
Yeah, right.
I was that disappointed. I rewatched Legend of Ruby Sunday, but I didn't rewatch Empire of Death. So I do want to give it another chance.
Well, when I got the Steelbook, I got to 73 yards, finished 73 yards, and just have not... my will to watch the last half of the season is just non-existent. And it sucks because Rogue's in there. And there's like good stuff throughout it.
Rogue's really fun.
But I'm also scared to watch Dot and Bubble in case I'm like, we were wrong.
I don't know if we'll change our opinion.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty firm on it. And
video you did that got really good views was the I was wrong about the Star Beast.
I'll do that again with Dot and Bubble.
It's like in our top 5 most watched videos. So yeah, I was wrong about Dot and Bubble. Yeah, there is just a lot of like, I think,
I could phototop racist into a sticky note on my forehead.
Yeah,
I was talking about Dot and Bubble.
I'm coughing in the mic. I'm smacking it.
Crazy. I'll smack you, mate.
Yeah, there was a lot of harsh comments, but I do want to rewatch Dot and Bubble, and I do want to rewatch episodes that I have no desire to rewatch. Something about the idea of rewatching Legend of Chosen Ruby Road with CGI goblins doing front flips. It's just not why I tune into Doctor Who.
It's only I don't mind it though. I don't mind.
It's just not why I tune in.
I rewatched it.
I need to rewatch it to give it a chance.
When I rewatched on the Steelbook, I was like, "Yeah, fuck this. Like, it's not a classic. Yeah, it's not a classic. But I'm here for the vibes. I get a bit bored in the last act, which is a shame because it's the last act. You expect it to get exciting, but it's like the first 2 acts is peak for me. It's like each act gets worse, I think. But it's like I really like. I properly love Millie as Ruby and Shooty as the dog,
too,
and them together. And that episode and Space Babies for me is like the tour de force of that relationship in the fun way. And we get to explore some other bits of it in Boom and stuff. But I think what I don't really like about why the rest of the season like fades out to me is because like we just don't explore that sort of post 73 yards. Correct. Really.
Yeah.
They're
like that relationship's already like been expanded, and we'll just
and then the last scene of the episode of Empire Death, like, do you see all the character work we've done?
So much about family.
My favorite thing is when people bring up, he did. He mentioned Susan in Devil's Court. I'm like, okay, so since then we've had 6 episodes where he's done nothing character work. Anyways, let's move on to a familiar segment: upgrade or delete.
Upgrade in progress.
This is the segment where we get your opinions on things, usually related to Doctor Who, and we either upgrade them or we delete them.
Hello.
What's that from?
God Complex.
Thank you, sir.
Things.
That's
things?
correct.
I
That's
like
correct.
things. Hello.
Because I remember we watched that in Adelaide. But this week I asked out on Twitter. I asked for your best and worst Dalek stories. We've got a few to go through here, so let's see how we go.
Fenn's Law.
Conor.
I need that soundbite.
We got this. This is if you have a good review, if you have a good episode. Yes. And if we disagree with you, we hit you up with...
We'd be in the Stone Age with this switcher.
I've lost myself in the switcher here. That's if you're a bad person.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. Okay. Chris.
Yes.
Says, best is Dalek, worst is Resolution, or Asylum of the Daleks.
You couldn't... Oh, you had me until
Asylum?
you said Asylum.
Asylum's not great, so I'm not... Like, I like Asylum, but I'm not going to stand up for it, you know?
Everyone's gonna... I did just rewatch it, actually. I'm gonna go yes, obviously, because I completely agree. Yes. And I feel like we're gonna hit Dalek in pretty much every tweet, but, you know...
Not far from it. Adam says, best... Eccleston brought pain of the... Sorry, I've totally fucking lost the plot here. Adam says, Dalek 2005 is my fave. Eccleston brought the pain of the Time War to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst for me, you're not going to like Adam the same way after this tweet, mate, let me tell you. One of the worst for me was Eve of the Daleks. Okay. Didn't enjoy the setting or the characters. Replay value is minimal for me.
Wow, I mean... I can see why people don't like Eve. I can see why people don't like Eve.
Can you though? I think it's so sweet and fun.
Yeah, because yes, I can see why. Because like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a well-written episode.
It's got its flaws.
Exactly. He's so right, and I talk about this all the time. That scene with Eccleston in the shelter, I guess, or like the prison with the Dalek in Dalek.
Yeah,
it's so
chained
great.
up.
It's so incredible, and Eccleston absolutely knocks it out the park. And we hear about the Time War and stuff, and it's just that's one of my all-time favorite moments of Doctor Who, and I think he absolutely nails it. And yeah, I completely. I can't agree with Eve, but
I agree with that.
I'm in purgatory with this one. I need like a middle button.
No middle button.
Stuck in the middle. With
you either yes it or you it.
Because I disagree with Eve, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go
Cooper Helia, who by the way, you've got a great Twitter account. You're very funny, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know why I said that so.
I
like
can't
aggressive,
recall who
spicy.
they are, but
they're funny. You would have seen their tweets.
Okay.
Best in classic Who they say is Evil of the Daleks, and in New Who they say Resolution.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. The first one.
Evil of the Daleks.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The one you've definitely seen.
It was a good one.
That's great.
I thought John Pertwee was great in it.
Yeah, you fucking
Was I right?
You twat.
Okay.
Least favorite.
That's a no.
Least favorite. In Classic Who, Revelation of the Daleks.
Yes.
In New Who, Asylum of the Daleks. Okay, a lot of Asylum of the Daleks
What's
hate
with the
here.
Asylum of the Daleks hate?
A lot of hate going on
I
here.
think it's because Stephen Moffat promised you'd see so many classic Daleks.
Maybe.
And
It's not perfect. Like, it is...
it's really not that bad, though.
It's not that bad.
The Magician's Apprentice and Witch's Familiar is so much worse. It's so boring and forgettable. And it has Davros in it, and it's on Skaro.
Mm-hmm.
These are two things. It's like, how can you fail writing a story that's set on Skaro and has Davros in it?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much worse than Asylum.
Yeah, Daleks and Ibiza, that's even worse too.
Yeah, Ibiza.
But no, I am... Like, Evil of the Daleks, I've watched the animation for that.
Yeah.
Very early on in my Classic Who ventures that I watched that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So, you don't even know what the story is.
I do. Give me some credit.
And I thought it was really good. But Resolution is the best. If by best you mean most
one's that?
boring,
Is that with Jack?
the first New Year special. You literally always get it the wrong, no matter how hard you try.
This is not me joking. Nah, episode sucks.
Yeah. Sorry, Big Coops.
Sorry.
Laundry Quinn Walker. Are they from, they do Mad Men, I think.
Landry commented?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Best, they say, Bad Wolf, Parting of the Ways. Worst, Revelation of the Daleks. Is that one, I think...
With Jack?
Fucking hell. I think that's the one we watched with Colin, isn't it?
That's fun. That's really fun.
I quite like that one.
Oh my God, that's when Davros comes back.
Yeah.
Is that...
I think that's the one.
Yeah, so Davros comes back one more time with Sylvester, and that's when he says, unlimited rice pudding.
Yes, in Remembrance of the Daleks.
Yes, remember that, Aidan.
I will Remembrance of the Daleks. That. Let me just double check.
I
Revelation
had so much
of the
fun
Daleks.
with that episode. Literally, the cliffhanger is like a statue falling on Sylvester.
They don't make cliffhangers like that anymore, let me tell you.
That's when they did the 45-minute episodes, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so classic Who brained.
Go, mate.
No,
Go.
I really loved that episode.
It's quite hard because Laundry's given us, to me, when I think of like a best Dalek episode, like I love Dalek, but I've rewatched it too much.
Yeah.
So for me, like the next one that I like to say for that now is Parting of the Ways, Bad Wolf, because I think it is maybe slightly underrated as a finale. Like, because everyone talks about the big RTD era finales and they throw season 2, 3, and 4 at you. Season 1, I think, gets a little bit.
It's his best written final.
I'd say, yeah.
100%.
Still.
In my opinion. Like,
still.
I guess, Stolen Earth is so good. Like, Stolen Earth is like such a great episode, but I feel like Journey's End lets it down.
Just gets a little boring, Journey's End at times.
I agree. I think Parting of the Ways and Bad Wolf, I think they're both really great stories.
Great. So for that take, let me just find my way through the Roadcaster. Yes.
And I hope you enjoy your trip to New York, Landry.
Oh, good on you. Daleks in New York, the shit episode.
What episode is that?
Aaron Kreezer says, correct answer will be Might of the Daleks by Josh Schneers. Yes. We stand by that
pick.
here.
Yeah. Is that canon?
The worst is, failing that, best being Remembrance of the Daleks and worst being Victory of the Daleks.
Yes. Right, so Remembrance is what we just said?
Remembrance is what we are going to watch very soon, actually, on the podcast.
I haven't seen it then.
You haven't. It's with Sylvester.
Victory is super forgettable, boring, but I still think that it's not as bad as Witch's Familiar and Magician's Apprentice. I just think that episode it has so much more going for it, and it's an opener as well. And I think it misses the mark. Massively.
It's like comparing dog shit with horse shit, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can polish a turd, still shit.
That's correct.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do that, though.
Is that quote?
Last one for today. Joseph Thomas says, best being
Joe
Dalek.
Thomas from the In-Betweeners.
Every time. Best Dalek, worst Eve of the Daleks, special mention Into the Dalek.
Okay, Into the Dalek. Okay, I don't really get the Eve hate.
That's okay. 2 constants throughout this today.
Yeah.
Being best being Dalek, which is good, fair enough.
Yeah. And
worst being Eve of the Daleks, which is like a massive scream into a fucking.
No one mentioned Witch's Familiar, Witch's Apprentice.
Yeah.
That's bizarre to me. Yeah, Into the Dark is like, it's so silly when you think about it.
But I like it. It's good. It's good.
I remember Moffat teasing episode 2 lasagna. Yes. And everyone was like, "What does that mean, lasagna?" Yeah. Aidan got scared by his phone.
I thought I was about to knock my phone off the table.
It's silly and kind of forgettable, and I don't ever really rewatch it. One thing I will say though, I guess again, like what makes Dalek so great is like, and I know I give Chibnall shit for this, but like Stephen Moffat really popularized it. the idea of just like throwing the Daleks in a story because it like adds a threat. The whole idea of like just the one Dalek and the story that everyone goes back to and says this is the best Dalek story, and just it features one Dalek and shows why they are the most feared creatures in the universe. And then to do something like Time of the Doctor, and then like Chibnall did it heaps as well, and
so much.
It just to throw them in like, what threat do you feel the Daleks in Time of the Doctor? They're just another name on the list of people who are trying to attack.
They are, yeah. On the bloody school.
I would call
roster.
it Trenzalore, but it's a planet called Christmas. How's there a planet called Christmas? Well, there's an island called Easter.
Fenslore.
God, I remember trying to sleep in Adelaide on the last night. Me and Oscar and Aidan's just blasting Time of the Doctor at like 30
excuse
volume,
me.
and I just couldn't sleep with it.
Okay, we watched Time of the Doctor. You fell asleep.
I didn't watch it. You said, I'm going to chuck on Time because we just finished Name.
We finished Name, and I said, shall we skip Day and do Time? And everyone said, yes.
I think we were like, I'm going to sleep a little bit.
No one said that. They said, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you're right and I'm wrong, I guess.
Well, that's what happened.
It was so loud. It was like 11 o'clock.
You didn't have a problem with that bloody volume during Name of the Doctor. I didn't know you guys were going to sleep.
I was watching it. I was literally watching it.
I didn't know that you were going to sleep in Time.
What? And my head under the covers? What else am I doing?
I can't see. Crispy's head's there.
Yeah, me and Oscar stayed in the same bed. Fun fact. Silence, is that all I get? I said a room for 3 people. I thought it would be 3 beds.
No one's concerned about this. Okay. It's okay.
Sorry, folks. Just to let you know, conspiracy theory over here. Aidan, you were awake during Time of the Doctor. Was I? Fuck. It was so loud. It's like 11 o'clock at night. We all have flights in the morning.
Well, no. If someone said, let's go to bed, I'd say, oh, no worries. And I'd watch something on my phone.
And then Oscar like goes up to like turn it down. And you're not even in the room.
I went to the toilet.
Yes.
This is what happened.
And it's so loud. And he's not even watching it.
He's not
even there.
I didn't know that you guys weren't watching it anymore.
You look at... stand up and look at the people in the bed.
Okay, so you think I'm going to just be midway through enjoying an episode and I'm just going to stand up and be like, hey guys, just checking in, make sure you're awake.
You're acting like you're watching for the first time. You've seen it like 10 times.
No, but I was, yeah, it was like...
You don't naturally just glance over to see what other people... what is wrong with you?
That's so weird, because then you start going, why are you looking at me? You know?
What are you talking about? You're so wrong.
If I just turned and looked at you, you'll go, what?
You're so wrong and you think you're right, and that's the issue.
I went to the toilet. All I can say is I went to the toilet and I thought I'll leave it playing for the boys, won't pause it.
Yeah, we were loving it so much.
Did my business.
As we're literally trying to sleep.
I came back and the episode was inaudible. It was so quiet. And I was like...
and you did finish it.
I said, did you turn it down, Oscar? And he said, yeah.
Well, I do... Because I couldn't sleep with it on, and I remember I literally was just listening to Matt Smith regenerate, not watching it.
Oh, I'm glad. It's like a big finish for you.
And then you hit Oscar up with the, hey Oscar, I signed out of your stand on the TV. He's like, thanks, mate. Because I was thinking, I was like, I hope Aidan remembers to do that.
Well, I didn't want him to like be on his flight back and be like, fuck.
All you gotta do is like just say log out on all devices. It's pretty simple, but it's annoying and inconvenient, and it was sweet of you.
Enough about us sleeping in Adelaide. Let's move on to everyone's favorite segment. It's AI Aidan.
Am I talking to an AI?
I was about to start dancing to the rest of the Mario music, and then I forgot I cut it off. This is a segment where I asked ChatGPT for some vague descriptions of Doctor Who episodes without the titles, without using names, and Conor has to guess what the episodes are. Conor, are you ready for today's round?
Yes, also I'm keeping score, so I went back to the last episode and kept score.
Wow. So, who are you competing with?
Well, I like to know how many I got right and how many I got wrong.
Alrighty, let's see how you go today.
I can't remember what I got on the last one I did, but I will go back and check. So.
I think there's a couple easy ones here today, so we'll see.
We'll see.
As a mysterious phenomenon engulfs the world, a team investigates the appearance of spectral figures.
It's Army of Ghosts.
Yep. There you go. You got that very quick.
2 right.
Leading to a shocking revelation about a looming threat from beyond. That was the rest of it.
You didn't even have to finish it.
All right, number 2.
Yep.
In a time-bending narrative, a pivotal ceremony intertwines the fates of key characters, leading to unexpected alliances and profound revelations amid chaos.
Oh, Lord. Can you say that again, please?
In a time-bending narrative, a pivotal ceremony intertwines the fates of key characters, leading to unexpected alliances and profound revelations amid chaos.
Isn't every episode fucking time
I think this one's pretty obvious once you know it.
Wedding River song.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, ceremony. There's one main ceremony in New Who.
Okay. Let's see if I go for a hat trick.
You could do a hat trick here, mate. All right, third and final.
Yes.
In the aftermath of a devastating event, a diverse group must navigate shifting alliances and uncover hidden truths to survive an impending threat. This one is so much harder than the other two. I'm going to put that out there.
Okay, and reminder, folks at home, I only have 3 guesses.
True, correct.
I can say things like, "Oh, it's not family of blood," for example.
Yeah, because that's not a guess.
But I have to, if I go like, "It's this." Okay.
In the aftermath of a devastating event, a diverse group must navigate shifting alliances and uncover hidden truths to survive an impending threat.
Wars of Mars?
No.
A hidden truth. Is it the Flash two-parter?
No.
Okay. Is it Under Lake Before the Flood?
No.
Nuts.
I was going to give you a very big hint there. This doesn't count if you get this from this hint.
Okay.
You can't tally this one.
Okay.
Because this basically will give it away.
All right.
Think about in the aftermath of a devastating event.
Well, I heard that. I didn't guess it.
Well, I think that's a big component.
Aftermath of devastating event.
Something massive.
Isn't
a devastating event.
The Time War?
Crazy event.
The Time War. Flux?
A diverse group of people who have survived this event.
Survivors of the Flux.
Correct.
Oh, for fuck. Who guessed that?
The common thread here is that they all have Daleks in them, by the way, in the spirit of the chase. So.
If you got that right, I don't believe you in the comments.
That one was hard. I think the only thing is if you really latch onto devastating event, there's one. Well, there's a handful of global
Everything's a devastating event.
No, but I think if that's like, yeah.
Everything is.
My favorite thing is how pretty much every one of these AI descriptions ends with hidden truths and surprise alliances are formed.
Yeah, great. Wow, that really narrows it down.
It's bloody great. So you got 2 today, mate. Where does that put you so far out of 9?
Right, so I'm sorry, this is so bad, but I was listening at work and I forgot if I got the third one right last week. But I do remember the last 2 I got and wrote it down. And right now I'm on right is 3, wrong is 2. That will be updated next week with the score. I forgot one last week, whatever the last one was.
You've confused me, but I trust you.
Okay.
And I think you're doing great.
You know what? I think I just confused everybody.
I think you're doing great. Don't worry.
Come in. It's either draw or I'm
winning.
Let's
move on
Shane.
To a bit of classic Doctor Who.
Winning. Very loud though. You know, it's like super loud.
Like, turn it down, Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley.
Dudley did not compose the main theme.
Last year I had 37.
But last year I had 37. The double
36 counted in myself.
Today, folks, like we said at the top of the show, we are reviewing The Chase. So I'm so excited to talk to you about this episode.
Yeah,
just because a lot happens in it. It's very different, I think.
It's a big chase.
Not saying it's good or bad, but a lot happens. So The Chase is the 8th serial of the 2nd season of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, written by the GOAT, Terry Nation,
I agree.
and directed by Richard Martin. The serial was broadcast on BBC in 6 weeks on BBC. Yeah, not BBC One, just on BBC. In 6
Somewhere
weekly
on the
parts
BBC.
from the 22nd of May to the 26th of June 1965. Set in multiple time periods on several different planets, including Iridius, Earth, Mechanus. The serial features the Dalek race traveling through time while pursuing the TARDIS and its occupants, the Doctor and his companions, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky, to kill them. They want to kill them and seize the TARDIS for themselves. The Doctor and companions encounter several characters, including monsters Dracula and Frankenstein's monster, a human astronaut, Stephen Taylor, and
pirates.
an android replica of the Doctor.
And pirates.
Weren't they just sailors?
Yeah,
They were
true.
just sailors.
Sorry, that's pretty wrong of me to say that. So you've seen this one before?
Yeah, as we always say, I've seen this before, and I quite
Can we
liked
shake it up a little bit. Can I say, have you seen this one before?
Okay, go on then.
Have you seen this one before?
Yeah,
Okay.
quite liked it.
What, in the series 2?
When the season 2
collection
box
set?
set first came out, I watched this for the first time. This is my second time watching it.
And it's the penultimate, what's it called?
Penultimate episode storyline of season
Series
2,
2.
which
Okay.
is quite exciting to be on the other side of season 2, isn't it?
I can't believe it. Yeah, I checked today and I was like, wow, only one more story to go.
Did you know anything about this story going into it?
You know.
No.
I knew that the Daleks are in it.
Great.
A little small villain from Doctor Who. Well, because of the ending.
I didn't the first time. Oh, no, I must have done.
Because of the ending of the Space
True.
Museum.
But I remember the first time I watched this being surprised when the Dalek came out of the sand. So
I obey, is the shot they say.
Sand.
Yeah, that's a really good shot.
Good shot. Yeah, I still really like this. Conor, what did you think of this one?
Help. I need some.
You were close. You were so
I know,
close.
I was so close. Okay, it didn't play on BBC iPlayer. I assume because of copyright stuff.
Right.
So you're right.
So should we just give a bit of context
I
here?
had to look it up. Yes, please. Give the context.
Last few weeks I've been teasing that there's a great little song at the start of The Chase in the episode.
Yeah.
And it is a Beatles song. Is it Paperback Writer?
I don't remember.
I can't
I looked
remember.
it up on Monday, I think.
Yeah, but because of rights issues, it's not on a lot of releases. In fact, the collection
You're on
set,
the money.
the collection set in the UK has it, but the collection set in Australia doesn't have it on it.
Wow.
Which is so it's a bit murky there.
Yeah, so it didn't have it
On
as far
iPlayer.
as I'm aware because I was like, I was got to be the Beatles because it's the 60s.
Yeah.
And that's why I guessed the Beatles. I don't really know any. I guess like the Monkees in the 60s, but I don't really know any other like groups. Maybe Elvis Presley. I don't know. But yeah, no, really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool to see that. And I didn't hear it, but I looked it up and I was like, it is the Beatles, but it wasn't Help.
It wasn't Help. Also a big thing that I really tried to keep from you is that it was Ian and Barbara's last episode.
Now that was a good surprise.
bet.
And you kept that well. I assumed they were... No, because I've seen Adventure in Space and Time and I know he has different companions for his final episode. I don't know if Vicky's there.
No,
I guess
Vicky's not there.
Okay. Do you know what I was literally about to say? I was like, maybe I'll keep that a secret.
Well, I don't know when Vicky leaves, to be fair. I just know
Okay.
it's Polly and Guy, number one.
Polyamorous. Sorry. I didn't know that. And it was a really good... I'll talk about the ending when I get there.
Yeah. Tell me about your feelings of the episode.
Okay, so I've always known the name and people talking about it. There's always those episodes that you get to and you know that they're like notorious and people love them and you're supposed to love them too because if you don't, you're wrong and everyone hates you.
I never had that going into The Chase. I really had never heard of it before.
Really?
Yeah.
I just think it's a name that I always recognized.
Maybe.
So I think the first thing that's I kind of look at this serial in like 3 acts. The first act for me is the first 2 parts. The second act is 3 and 4, and the final act is 5 and 6 for me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it. And I'd say that if we're talking about like the first act, the first 2 episodes, I'm enjoying it and I'm digging it, and I'm like, we even get like the natives of the planet, and it's very much like, oh, this is a good version of the Web Planet. Like,
Yeah, this is what the Web Planet wanted to be.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
the characters on the inhabitants of the planet
Yeah.
are incredibly annoying, hard to understand, pointless, and just quite frankly, really fucking annoying.
There's no smudge on the lens either.
No,
that helps.
there's no grease
or
on the
sounds.
lens.
Crazy fucking sound
No
effects.
sounds, and I'm really loving the sand planet. We were just saying then about that beautiful shot of the Dalek coming out of the sand.
Yeah, the sets are
And
great.
the sets are fantastic. I actually understood, like, it's kind of like, it's like algae got smart and they were living under the sea. They're kind of like fish people.
Big brain.
With big brains.
Big brain
Because
algae.
Fish, if you eat fish, you're smart. And if it swims, it slims. And I really kind of dug it and I was having fun. I think I was just enjoying it and not loving it. And on Tuesday, if we're talking about Act 2, I watched parts 3 and 4 together. So I watched parts 1 and I watched parts 1 and 2 together 3 and 4 together, and 5 and 6 together. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. The trilogy. Now, if we're talking Act 2, I just been out for dinner with my mum. I had a few pints down the pub, and I came back and I watched parts 3 and 4, and I've got to say, this is probably some of the most fun I've had watching Classic Who. I was absolutely loving it. I'm like, this is why it's called The Chase. And it's such a tonal shift. I mean, we're in New York City. We're in a haunted house, a pirate ship. This is so good. I was throwing my fists in the air.
Yeah.
I was like perfectly like a little bit buzzed and just absolutely fucking loving it.
Terry Nation, funny.
I love Terry.
Writes good comedy, like especially episode 3.
Oh
like
my
when
God.
Ian gets hit on the head.
Yes.
So funny.
Oh, the shit. And the Empire State Building, it was such a great surprise.
Yeah, oh dude, that guy that's like, and
he's
he
looking
starts stomping on the ground to try and
because like,
find
we're
the
like, where
TARDIS.
did it go? Yeah, the TARDIS appears. And
It's
then it
literally a comedy, and
dematerializes.
it's so good.
Yeah, I did some research on the episode, and like obviously because Terry wrote Dalek Invasion of Earth, this series, and it's a lot more serious. This is the first time I'm ever watching these episodes. I mean, I saw the Doctor Who movies, but so I saw like an interpretation of it, but well, it was on purpose, like to be more funny.
Well, they have, sort of to do with what you're saying, they have really good continuity with the Dalek lore throughout this era of Doctor Who, where like Vicky walks out into Manhattan and she goes, "Oh, New York was destroyed in the Dalek invasion of Earth."
Yes.
Which is just like a great little Terry Nation thing, building his little Dalek world plot thing.
Yes, I would like to get to know people's names more. I know like Terrence Dix and stuff because it's a kind of funny name. I'm immature, but like I know Terry Nation, of course, and I think every time I've watched an episode of his, like I can at least really respect the nuts on this fella, and I think this episode particularly works. Never in my life did I think I would see Frankenstein monster destroy a Dalek. And I was loving every fucking second of it, by the way. I absolutely loved
Dracula,
it.
like all he keeps saying is, "I am Count Dracula."
It was so like I mean, we're in New York City, we're in a haunted house, we're on a pirate ship. I'm not guessing any of this stuff. It's like I was just like I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh, where are we going next?
Yeah,
and it works. And the Daleks are like always a step behind.
I know,
flying in their ship, and then they arrive late. It's so funny.
Every time,
so good.
The Doctor they run away. They get back to the TARDIS, and they're like the Daleks. They're 12 minutes behind.
Yes.
The next episode, they're like the Daleks. They're 8 minutes behind.
They're catching up to us, Doctor.
We can't keep doing this, guys, but we will. Now they're 4 minutes behind.
Wreaking havoc. A Dalek like goes off the side of the ship.
Bro, it's yeet.
How do you think they filmed that? Like, how do they film around the water?
I've got a feeling a lot of the sets throughout both these 2 middle episodes were maybe like sets, like pre-existing sets for like other productions or something like that. Because if not, then fuck, they put a lot of money and effort into this one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like the whole Frankenstein house.
Yeah.
Not Dracula's house, sorry. And yeah, the ship, the stuff with the water, like I mean, I know how they do it now. I don't necessarily know how they do it back in the day.
Yeah.
Especially because Doctor Who has a bad track record with water on set. Because the
good old Ace
nearly dying, and because the cameras obviously have like cables running everywhere back in the day. So it's like quite dangerous to have a wet floor.
Get her the fuck out of there.
Get Ace the fuck out of here.
Do you call it Ace or Sophie?
No, I think you just say get her the fuck out of there.
And they knew the Doctor never swears, which is the main
So they said, oh, no, she is about to die.
He must mean it.
She's not acting. She's about to die.
just great acting all around.
Crazy.
So good.
All right, tell me then, 5 and 6, how did this land for you?
I would say I didn't enjoy it as much, but I think the ending really saved it for me. This whole like cyborg Doctor thing kind of threw me off a little bit.
Oh, in episode 5. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I think because I ended episode 4 a little buzzed, I kind of like started episode 5 today and was like, oh yeah, that happened, you know? And I think, I was a bit thrown off by it. I think it's definitely fun. I think the ending really saved it for me though. Which again, I wasn't expecting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
right.
I think 5 and 6 is not, it's not terrible. Like it really, like I think The Chase is such a great name for this episode because it's so accurate. Like everything's always changing. You really feel. I think it peaks in 3 and 4. Like some of the most fun I've had.
Well, I think what's really great about this is they sort of got a 6-parter and ran with it and didn't.
Yeah,
they added in new sets and things to make it more interesting 6 parts. But I think you can't really hold other 6-parters against that because part of the reason other 6-parters are 6-parters is often for a budget thing. Similar to how, Flux, they reused characters and sets to make the production work. That's what it was like back in the day with classic serials. It's like they had 6 episodes but couldn't afford, new sets every 3 or 4 weeks. So, but somehow this episode just seemed to have a big budget or just something good happened, something good worked for it.
I guess it was also Ian and Barb's last episode.
As
well. So it works. Even like going back to like the natives and stuff and like they're helping the Doctor and Vicky, but also they get like an ultimatum because it's like the Daleks have said to us, if you help us, if they help them and give them the Doctor and his companions, they'll leave them be and let them live freely. And it's actually it's interesting. It's like there's these people, these natives who they don't want any trouble, man, but they're getting killed by algae and then Daleks, and then these people arrive and they're like, the elders have decided that we're going to give you over. And I'm loving it. I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm having like Space Museum episode 1 fun, where I'm like, okay, sometimes Classic Who, I'm not going to lie to you, can be a fucking drag, all right?
Oh, yeah.
But this episode, this serial, I think did a really good job at like keeping you entertained. And you're right, just the change of sets, the change of locations, the story kept moving. It was a very rare time I'm like, oh, a 6-part serial that I generally didn't feel the weight of it being 6 parts. Because I was like, oh, cry, it's like another 6-part. Like I really have to like, you must do it too. Like, I have to schedule my week around this. I haven't watched The Penguin this week because of this serial.
I've not watched Penguin either.
That's how serious I take this shit because it takes time to watch it.
I get like, because most of the time, so that I don't have to spend my nights watching it, that's why I watch it early in the morning before work. So I, as I say, I chuck them out at like 5 a.m. And like
5 a.m. You're nuts.
Well, that's the thing. I'm literally there.
Holy
like
macaroni.
So you get a bad cereal, you're like, please just take me to work.
Yeah.
Please take me to work.
Anything better than this.
But then like I'm watching The Chase and I'm like, I want to watch another one. Like it's so into it all the way through. So I basically second everything you've said, by the way. Like I think it's so fun.
It's nice. Isn't it nice to come in and actually have stuff to say and you're excited to talk about it?
Yeah.
Rather like you come in like the Space Museum and you're like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what to say. Like so much happens and it's...
Well, 1 and 2, actually before I forget, because I always forget to say this, Dudley Simpson does the score for this and he does a great job. Like, do-do-do-dun, do-do-do-dun, do-do-do, like all that cool music, great stuff.
It's on the 50th final.
Is it?
Probably.
Maybe. Probably.
Chase theme.
Sounds about right. Sounds good to me. I agree. 1 and 2, like sort of promising, and like you're into it, but you're kind of there like, oh, don't do this for 4 episodes.
That's exactly right. Because I was like, I don't know how I feel about staying here for 4 episodes. More.
Yeah, it's just like just enough.
Yeah.
3 and 4, you're like, this is really fun. You sort of end 4 going, okay, we can't just keep doing this though. Like I think they did it
with this?
right amount. Yeah, you do start to question where they're going. And then 5, you're like, oh, we're in sort of a standard boring setting. But then I like the whole double Doctor thing. I have questions over sometimes.
Chesterton's dead, my dear.
Well, obviously they had another actor stand in for William Hartnell for the other Doctor, the Robot Doctor. And there's times where like I thought they were just going to do the Robot Doctor was always going to be the Robot Doctor because the other actor doesn't look that much like Will Hartnell. Yes. Let's be real. And that's fine because back in the day, you'd hardly notice on the small TVs. We didn't know we'd be watching it on big screens in 1080 all these years later, let alone rewatching it.
Can they just done like a body double like back to the camera all the time?
Well, I thought they'd do a bit more of that. Rather than a lot of the time, they just show close-ups of the other actor's face and just overlay William Hartnell's voice over it. And like I said, not criticizing how it was done at the time. Now it's super jarring. It's super funny.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, like, I just have so many questions because sometimes it's like they've clearly sort of had to shoot stuff maybe slightly out of sequence and stuff to sort of make this work, because you'll have a wide shot, right? And William Hartnell isn't in this wide shot at all, but the robot doctor is, and they put the other actor in as the robot doctor. Okay, but then they do a close-up and they give you William Hartnell. So I'm confused as to why in the wide shot they didn't have Hartnell there.
Yes.
Because I think
like
it would have just made more sense to me if the robot doctor just looked slightly different than Hartnell and they just ran with that for the whole serial. And rather than chopping and changing who he's playing, you know?
It's odd seeing like,
confusing.
Because he goes up to Barbara and is like, Ian's dead.
Yeah.
And she's like, my God.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure he's not just her?
And I thought that was the first Doctor.
It's odd. I do remember ending part 4 and seeing that and being like, interesting notes to end on.
Yeah.
I just literally went to bed after that and I was like, after just enjoying like this roller coaster of fun.
They clone the dog.
Sure, there's a bit of cliches in there. I can understand that, but I really do think it's so funny because I used to meme on Terry all the time because of this. I guess Russell's now confirmed fake contract. That's how I knew his name. Of like
the old Dalek contract.
Every series, Daleks have to appear at least once in it, otherwise you lose the rights to them. That's how I knew Terry Nation's name. So I think when I saw episodes from him, I never really took them seriously. And now, so does he write every classic episode Dalek?
I don't think every. I don't know. I actually couldn't
every
answer the
classic.
question.
Okay.
I don't think he would write every one though. No.
But so far he has.
I believe so. Yeah.
Did he write what episode we were talking about before with Colin? Did he write that?
I'm not sure. I will find out for you.
Luckily, it's right open on your browser.
It is right here.
So
that one was written by Eric Sawad, who was the script editor.
Okay. I just enjoy his work.
And directed by Graham Harper. Did we know that when we did Revelation of the Daleks?
I'm sure you read the director.
Sure, yeah.
I didn't. Wow.
Interesting. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about today.
So, did he pass away during the?
I don't know the Dix timeline.
Dix?
Or nor do I know when Terrence Dix passed away.
Terrence Dix? The Dix timeline? The Terry Nation?
Oh shit! Sorry.
I'm saying Terry Nation. Did he
pass
that
would have
away
been
during
such a good joke
years?
if that had worked properly.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean Terrence Dix. I meant, did he pass away during the wilderness years?
I don't know when Terry Nation passed away. I don't know his timeline either. Right. I don't know Dick's timeline. I don't know Terry Nation's timeline. And I don't know Terrence Dix.
One of my favorite things to say, and people hate it when I say it, when someone says, I don't know, I go, you don't know much, do you?
I understand.
It kills at work all the time. People love me for it.
I bet they do so much.
Do you want to talk about that final scene?
Yeah, so the end of episode 5. Well, there's a little showdown between the two doctors, which is quite fun. I kind of liked it. It was like, fuck yeah, look at Hartnell going crazy, mate. Had to do some stretches before that, I bet you.
And no IB for this week.
No, well, maybe he was still on a high from Ibiza, and that's how he pulled this shit off.
He's on that calm down.
I think are they called mechanoids? The balls that come out at the end. And they say, humans, come in here.
Interesting voice.
Weird and interesting design as well. Yeah. I don't know if they were trying to like go off what worked with the Daleks and do something similar, like a big robot thing. Don't know. But they join the mechanoids and they go away with the mechanoids. The AI mechanoids then capture them and leave them in this base in the sky because this planet... Excuse me, I'm
Sky City today. From Sopranos?
Sky City from Sopranos, from Star Wars.
Star Wars? Can you get more different? Sorry.
Bespin.
Bespin, that's it.
Yeah, that was a weird fuck up from you there.
That was a very strange fuck up.
Basically, they're, I think, terraforming the planet to make it habitable for humans, but the humans got involved in a war, so then they forgot about this planet they were terraforming. So these AI robots have just prepped the planet.
Too much unnecessary, Terry. Too much unnecessary backstory that no one gives a fucking...
I quite like that.
No one gives a fucking monkey's left nut.
Why did they capture these characters, though? Why did the mechanoids decide to capture these characters and Steven Taylor?
Because of the old-fashioned story trope in Doctor Who. They're evil because they are.
Fair.
Which is the main... takeaway, I think, from every Doctor Who episode. It's like, why are you doing this? Because I'm evil and I love being evil.
Because we are big robots.
And I want to kill you because I am evil. Some people are just born evil, and some robots are born evil.
Well, was I born evil?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
Do you know what had some good direction? That final fight scene between the Daleks and the Mechanoids. That was like sick. Like I was genuinely like, this is awesome.
Terry always seems to push the
boundaries.
Yeah, I don't know. Was he a respected? I don't know why I'm asking you.
Well, he created the Daleks and stuff.
With your
we need
Terry
like a
Nation knowledge.
We need to have like a phone Josh Snares button on this pod.
Like, I know.
Whenever we have a question, we call Snares.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, write in the comments. Was Terry Nation a big writer back in the day?
Josh is like listening on Spotify. Like, fuck, now I've got to go open up YouTube. And
please do. What else are you doing?
Interesting.
Making Dalek fan films?
If only we'd prepped for this podcast.
I didn't think about this before I came on.
Terence Joseph Nation died in 1997.
Right, so wilderness years.
Wilderness years. The year before I was born.
Yeah, same.
A Welshman. He was also very involved in Blake 7, who we all know is out there being a series that I don't watch. He died. It's a very popular British sci-fi show.
Blake 7?
Blake 7, yeah. You never heard of that?
No, can't say I have.
Nah. Mate. Anyways, mate, this guy was so popular. He worked on shows such as The Avengers, The Baron, The Champions, a bunch of other shows.
The Avengers?
But The Avengers was a very popular show back in the day. Not Marvel The Avengers before you make that joke, Do
you mean Iron Man in 4?
Iron
Man in 4?
God.
Are they the event? They're the event. And Spider-Man.
Okay. So Terry Nation wrote Doctor Who. A lot of Dalek stories. Not all of them. A lot of them. Up to Destiny of the Daleks, which is, I think, Tom Baker's final Dalek story.
Final? How many does he have?
Only 2 across 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of that these days, eh?
It's interesting to be like, when we get Shooty's first one. It'd be cool if we only got like 2.
That would be very cool, wouldn't it?
I'm glad they're not just throwing the Daleks in to be like, I obey.
Do you think Russell did Daleks in almost all of his finales and then saw Moffat's era and was like, he never put Daleks in his finales other than, as little cameo things, but he never did like a Dalek story as a finale.
Hit you with that.
Waiting a River Song bullshit. Pandorica Opens Big Bang bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, because credit to Moff, he did a lot of Sidemen in his finales.
Well, I've been on record saying I'm more excited to see the Cybermen with Shooty, but I mean, imagine if we just don't. I feel like, yeah. Either way, the ending
explosive
to me by surprise, and when I start hearing Barb's being like, "This could be our way." So, can you answer me this? Maybe, hopefully you can. If you can't, that's okay.
Let's see how much Wikipedia can help me here.
So, the Doctor says, "I've been trying to get you home."
Yes.
Is he just fucking lying? That guy can take him home whenever.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yeah, he's lying.
Well, no, he says back in the day he couldn't pilot the TARDIS. So he was just sort of just flying around, didn't really know what it was doing.
London, 1965.
So, and then for some reason they see this other TARDIS and they're like, "Oh, you can use that to take us home, right?"
So he is lying then.
No, I think. I think
what?
I think lore
anywhere, but
yeah, I think. Because it's all random landings in these early seasons.
True. No, that's true.
So, yeah, I think that's the general consensus, but I don't know.
He just learns to fly the TARDIS better as time goes on.
I like the idea that he didn't want to be alone and he wouldn't take them back. Because this last scene is very emotional.
Okay. Double part that just real quick. One of my favorite Doctor Who quotes is, "You don't fly the TARDIS, you reason with it." Beautiful Stephen Moffat line.
Obviously from... episode called Listen, which I was definitely about to say.
Cool. Now going back to the park. Yes, so...
Unpark.
Unpark it. I don't... Sometimes I worry people like, why is he saying his opinion? He doesn't know, shit. Fair enough. I haven't watched much of Will Hartnell's era. I mean, I'm nearly finished Series 2, flex, but I don't know a lot about his era. But I guess after watching quite a handful of episodes... And this is not a detriment to it, because now it's Shooty Gatwa's Doctor has to show emotion and cry every episode because that shows Doctor's arc. Now, I don't really know what defines this Doctor. I'm sure if I watched all of his 3 series, I would get it free. 3 series?
And a bit.
And a bit. 3 and 1 serial.
2
cereals. That's what I meant. And like, I'm sure I could understand it more. Josh Snares is again currently across the road with a sniper, and I'm sure there is like, you know, you do get what he's trying to be, but he is quite rude and obnoxious. I'm talking about the Doctor here, not Josh Snares again. But
So-
it's like to see him be emotional,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
since Susan, and like he doesn't want them to leave, and that's sweet. And he's like making up excuses and being like, nonsense, don't go, don't do this. And he's like, I will miss them. Yes, I shall miss them. I shall.
Mm-hmm.
And I read the cutest Wikipedia article today, like literally the cutest. I'm gonna read it because I saved it for this.
Go on. This is like my kid wrote me a Christmas card. Can I read it to my friends?
Because I asked you a while ago if they ended up together, and I guess you didn't know. But after meeting Joe Grant, the 11th Doctor this is in Sarah Jane, I'm just sorry if it's spoil or something, but
Right.
after meeting Joe Grant, the 11th Doctor, Sarah Jane reveals that she has researched the lives of some of the Doctor's Earthbound companions, discovered that Ian and Barbara have married each other, became professors, and live in Cambridge. So,
Cambridge.
did I say it wrong?
Cambridge.
And how beautiful. Because I asked you in the Romans if they were a couple, like, or at least exploring being together. And I love it. And also, big fact here, Ian Chesterton.
I'm just correcting you. That's been my part of the last few minutes. It's just for me giving you facts.
It's the longest gap between an appearance in a TV show because he's in Power.
65 to 22, baby.
Because I went to go check today if this is actually his last appearance. And the shock I had when I saw Power of the Doctor, and I was like, oh, of course. But then, this is his last appearance.
And what a
rip the goat.
What a run! What a run!
Rip the goat.
Round of applause for these guys. What a run! Barbara and Ian, obviously along with Caroline
lovely.
Ford as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely
so good.
set the
Amazing.
precedent of this show.
Yeah.
And everything that's about, and it would not be the same show today had it not been for the pioneers, and along with Will Hartnell as well.
Can we hit him with another?
Yeah, another round of applause. That was have a career. That was huge.
It's beautiful, and I love that ending with the photos and stuff.
It's such a cool way of doing it as well.
Literally, Ian Chesterton says, "I want to have a pint in the pub and watch cricket." And that's like, is he me?
The smirk I had on my face because I knew you'd have that exact reaction when he said that.
Like, it's sweet and it's sad, but it's sad also.
But the photos, so like they're all so funny. Like there's a photo of Ian like, and then it cuts to what he's looking at. It's a photo of like a blue police box.
I like that. They're taking pictures of the police box. There's one with like Barbara's getting attacked by pigeons. Yeah. They see a police box and they're like,
so good.
Yeah, it's very
special. And
to see, I guess it's a little bit of silly lore that Russell wrote in The Death of the Doctor in Sarah Jane Adventures. But which I believe is the only other episode he writes for Sarah Jane. But like, it's like,
I think you're right.
I always wanted them to end up together, and the fact that they did, it's like, it's sweet and it's fulfilling. And I really love those characters. And you're right, and there's always going to be nostalgia for like the first characters in the show. But you're right, I think the sound they set and playing a Doctor Who companion is so special, and playing anyone who gets cast in Doctor Who, whether you're a Doctor or a companion, it's so special because you're just part of this like history. You know, and they started that. They didn't know what the show was going to be. It would blow their mind if they saw what we were doing now. So
crazy.
And I really loved it. I thought it was a really good fun time, and only one more story to go.
Yeah, baby, and then we're done with season 2, which
oh my god,
I'm kind of happy about, but also I don't know. It was such a nice. This serial was so nice, and next week, Yeah, I've not rewatched it yet, but last time I watched it, I thought it was an absolute banger of a finale.
And I'm interested to see if next week we meet new companions or if they're going to wait till series 3. So I'm excited to see that as well.
I ain't gonna say anything, and no one spoil anything for Conor in the comments.
Thank you.
That should be a rule of thumb for these classics because I've usually watched them prior, and Conor hasn't. So
there have been some surprises because I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this going in, and it was really. And I forgot the season left at the end of Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Yeah,
Terry Nation just loves writing exits. You know,
he does. Yeah, he loves to get the fuck out of there.
How do we get rid of a companion in the classic era? Just do a Dalek story.
I would, just because I like this character in this episode. I would love to know what you think. Did you think much of Stephen Taylor?
Right, so
he was the character that rocked up in episode 6.
Yes,
it was fun, right?
Relationship with Vicky, maybe. I don't know.
Little on-set romance.
Well, I'm used to Terry Nation, right? And because Susan's like, I'm going to run off with this baker.
Yeah, right.
He makes bread. Notoriously great job, by the way. Yep. Everyone needs bakers. They wake up very early. A baker's dozen, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm. They got buns, hon.
Stephen Taylor, isn't he like a rock star?
Yeah. You're thinking of the drummer of Queen, Brian Taylor.
No, I've seen Stephen Taylor. No, Stephen Taylor, he's been on like Stern Heaps.
Maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Cool. Glad we had the chat.
Baker's dozen.
I thought it was fun.
I'm talking like a completely different character and a musician. So.
Okay. Good
to answer your question.
Thank you for doing that.
I asked you a question without answering it in a way.
Can you give me a score for the chase out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 8.
Wow.
Very good time. A 6-parter, which I got to give it credit to because it didn't feel like homework, you know? It felt fun.
That's the good pass mark for Classic Who, right? Didn't feel like homework. I was leaning towards a 7.5, but
the ending's so good as well.
The ending's so good. I'm going to give it an 8 because I'm almost feeling a little emotional talking about these companions and this farewell and this story that it was amazing.
Yeah, because it's the last of the OG companions.
It sort of is like the end of an era, which is so weird. Please, again, someone enlighten us in the comments. Don't know why they'd never contracted companions to the end of the season. Because, for example, Susan was contracted to the first 2 serials of season 2.
Land of the Giants and Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Correct. And then Barbara and Ian were contracted to the second last serial. Mm-hmm. Like, it just baffles me that they didn't go, okay, let's do contracts all the way to the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it works.
Harry Sullivan's in the Zygons and then leaves.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't know how that worked. Like, I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, it's Doctors too as well, because...
Yeah, because...
a lot of the time...
Hartnell leaves early season 4.
Is Davison's second last serial?
Yeah. No, sorry, the second last serial is season 21.
Yeah.
Is when Davison regenerates.
And we were just saying before, 2 serials in Hartnell.
Yeah. Regenerates.
4?
Sorry?
Series 4?
In series 4, yeah. He's got the second serial is the 10th planet.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Which is just crazy. And then you have fresh slate so like Pertwee starts at the start of season 7. Baker starts at the start of season 12.
When was Green Death?
Green Death is season 10.
Yeah, I know, but I know Joe Grant leaves.
Finale.
So. Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's a good finale.
So it opens with Sarah Jane. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Planet of the Spiders is the final.
Yes.
That's right, because we watch Robot, and that's...
after...
Look at this knowledge.
Connecting all the dots. Yeah. I really like watching classic Doctor Who.
Let's go.
I like how we're doing it at the moment. It's like we're not going chronological in terms of going like season 1 to this. We're just picking a season and then running and watching that season, and then you just slowly connect the dots because that's like similar to what's happened to me with the collection sets, right? Yes. Where I've watched one, fill in the blanks. I'm like, I'm watching. I've met Leela, but I'm not going to continue her stories for another 5 years until the next collection set comes out. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, interesting
because I let you pick because you know more than me. Like, do you know what we're doing next?
Yes. And what's going to be really fun about this...
is it the new Sylvester set?
Yes. Is that I've not watched it either.
Fuck yeah.
I've not watched this season. So we'll both be going in as the new episodes. Middle season. People often debate between this one and season 26, which one's the better one. I think season 25 has the most fans, which is the one we're going to be watching. People love this season, and we both love Sylvester. We both love Sophie.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, the only one that I have watched, I watched Remembrance of the Daleks as a kid, but that was as a kid. Like I've not seen it since. I own the DVD, but
So Dragonfire is series 24?
yeah, finale of season 24.
Okay.
So yeah, and then you've seen Battlefield. Battlefield is the opening of season 26.
Yeah.
So this is we're going to watch the bridge.
Dragonfire, Battlefield, and Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to be really cool. So
it's so cool to like tick them off. It's really fun.
Yeah. So we are next week, folks. We are going to return to Doctor Who Flux, do a revisited there. We're going to do War of the Sontarans.
Yes.
And then the week after that, we will wrap up season 2 of Doctor Who with the Time Meddler.
Yes, very keen. All right,
Very
awesome.
keen.
Thank you for having me, Aidan.
What a show! I feel like we really like grew throughout this episode. I feel like we started a little rusty, and then we
start. You know, we. It's not about the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, that one.
Whatever. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think it was a weird situation where usually we are popping for the first half, then the review is sometimes where it gets like a little bit boring and we're just doing the job side of it.
It's good to talk about. It's good to talk about an episode. Well, it's nice to talk about an episode you actually want to talk about.
Well, that's the thing. We were both hyped talking about this episode. So,
to be fair, we're gonna have a good run because I know, spoiler alert, we've already reviewed it. I know we love War of the Sontarans. We loved this episode, and we loved the Sarah Jane episode we just did. So it's like we got 3 in a row where like we just enjoyed talking about.
Doctor Who's good.
Yeah,
Doctor Who's good.
Doctor Who can be good sometimes. Who knew?
Can also not be. But
yes.
Yeah. All right, folks. We will see you next week for the War of the Sontarans. It's a
Redux review.
Revisited
review.
And Connor's pod. Why do you keep calling yourself Connie on all of a sudden?
It's the TV show I'm writing.
Yeah, but it's not.
No one calls me. That's the joke.
Right.
They're doing
it's
Doctor Who and Connor's pod.
Why are you going to do Connor now? They're doing Doctor Who reviews.
We're
doing Doctor Who reviews.
Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes.
I assume it played. I got nothing to say, do you?
No incredible.
You watching The Penguin tonight?
I think I got on Zombies, back in COD Zombies.
Oh, you're on that. Zombies grind like me.
Yeah. I am.
So fun.
So I think I got about an hour before that happens.
So fun. It just takes me back, man. It's just so fun. It's just I'd get taken back to like a better time when everything rhymed.
Did it?
Yeah,
it's like poetry.
It's a line from a Chance the Rapper song.
Don't know. Never heard of her.
And